Blast off.
When you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. When you're on the pot, give it all you got. On your on your on your on your on give it all you got. It stings when I pee, and it burns when I poop. When I push real hard, things don't go that well.
Uh-oh. Round 2.
We're back again. Welcome to episode 2 of ever.
Yes.
So, Lordy, it's hot in here.
I know. It really is. I don't know what the deal is.
Oh, gosh.
You got a dingy phone?
Probably.
Your phone do a ding thing?
It did. I'm sure.
What are you wearing?
My t-shirt, what?
But why? It's not even centered.
Nope.
Just to clarify, it's a red and white shirt that says Brawley. And as previously stated, it's not even centered.
Perfect, right?
Where did you get that?
I just made it on the internet.
There
I found
you
a place to buy it. Made shirts cheap, so I was like, you know what, I'm going to do it.
I was bored and I bought a t-shirt printing press.
Yeah. By the way, I'm doing silk screen now, if anyone wants to buy one.
Yeah. Those machines, I don't know. Isaac's brother has one. Apparently, it takes up like an entire basement.
Yeah, they're huge.
It's a whole ordeal.
Well, and they're not even like automatic or anything. They're a totally manual process. It's like you put your image on there, you put the t-shirt in, you put it down, then you like paint it.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize just how manual it is, but I know that it's not like running a sheet of paper through a printer or anything.
No,
like
it's
that.
not like you put your shirt in some sort of like big printer and it just prints out shirts. It's you load each one in individually and put it down, clamp it, and do the thing. And
So it's basically factory work.
pretty much. Very manual factory work.
Yeah. As fun as that sounds, it doesn't really sound all that fun.
Sounds like my dream job.
Sounds like factory work. Well, there's that.
Yeah.
But hey, okay.
Yeah.
Throughout the week, I come across something that makes me laugh, and I put it in my notes in my phone because I realize Daniel will also laugh at this.
Okay.
First thing that came to mind was the fact that on the last episode, we covered a lot of the disgusting lunch food, and we left out one very important contribution.
Uh-huh.
The ever-famous Italian dunkers.
Ugh.
Do you know what that is?
I barely remember it.
Well, that wasn't like back in the FBCA day where, you know, strawberry gummy things on all your sandwiches and all that. But when you get to the Shelbyville schools, the Italian dunkers, I'm pretty sure they just toasted a hot dog bun and put cheese on it and then gave you marinara sauce to dip it into.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Gourmet food.
I know. I don't know that you could find a more hillbilly way to like fake your way through a breadstick in an Italian meal. What about a couple hot dog buns? Kind of look like breadstick.
It's the same thing, really.
It's all bread. I know this is bread and it's shaped like a stick.
I mean, breadsticks are good in marinara. Why wouldn't just any bread be good?
Yeah. If breadsticks are good in marinara, why wouldn't a stick of bread be good in marinara? That's sound logic.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
I couldn't believe we overlooked that because
That is an important one.
I know.
Oh.
The thing is, I remember all the disgusting food that we always had when we were back in the private school days. But then when we transitioned to the public school system, it's all just like a blur. I just remember how crappy those lunchroom tables were. And,
Yeah.
And I don't know, any kind of table that collapses into the wall is going to be pretty dumpy.
Yeah, we have those at work in the break room. They don't collapse into the wall, but they you can fold them up and all the seats, and they're awful.
Collapsible tables.
Yeah.
It's good for folding tables when you want to store them away, but those are coming back out every day.
Yeah. At work, they never go away. Like they don't ever pick them up. They're just always there. So I don't know why we went with those.
The collapsible part is completely unused.
Yeah. We don't use it. So there was no point.
Yeah. Just weld it solid.
Yeah. We paid extra for these, but then we just went ahead and welded them solid because we're never going to fold them up.
Yeah. I figured the more expensive ones are less sturdy. May as well just make them like the cheaper ones.
So I had a good one too. I was driving to Decatur Saturday. Yeah, it was Saturday. I was driving to Decatur. We were heading to Menards, and Audrey was just jabbering in the back about stuff, and she came to the conclusion. She was asking like what worms eat, and I was like, worms eat dirt. She's like, well, then what do they poop? And I was like, they poop dirt. And then she said, so worms poop dirt? And it like blew her mind. So she's sitting there for like 5 minutes, like, worms poop dirt.
Did it blow her mind that dirt is what comes out of worms, or is she now thinking that all the dirt she's ever played with in her entire life is just worm poop?
Probably both. It's like, you let me play and poop?
There used to be so many worms around here because there's dirt everywhere.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's,
Kid logic.
Kid logic is fantastic. I love it.
I know. That is fantastic.
I did get one more thing so that the show would be entertaining.
Uh-oh.
It's in my magic sack here.
Did you find it at Casey's?
I did.
Oh!
Well, one of them I did. Well, I got you these.
No, wax bottles.
I got you these because I figured we need at least one more. That's pretty normal.
Saltwater taffy, but it's gross gas station saltwater taffy, not something you get from like an Amish store. Oh, Circus peanuts.
I got you everything you ever wanted.
Ew. My dreams are coming true.
Your dreams of disgusting candy, yes.
Oh, this is still stuck in the 90s. It's advertising that it's a fat-free candy. As if that makes a difference anymore. Tell me about your carbs and sugar content.
That's fantastic, though.
Yes.
There's a lock at the bottom.
Oh, I see. Wait, at the bottom? Mm-hmm. Oh, I don't know how to work a pocket knife.
There you go.
I sure as heck can't open a bag without one, apparently. Apparently, these bags are reinforced as well as the peanuts themselves are.
Yeah. So, you gonna try one?
Oh, it smells horrible.
You want me to try one, too?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see.
Oh, I cut open the bottom of the bag.
Does it really matter?
No, but that's the kind of thing that ordinarily would bother me.
They're like fake banana scented.
Oh, no. That's like silly putty consistency.
Oh, yeah,
Like you
it is.
squeeze it and it kind of retains shape. The only thing is it's slightly drier so that it cracks when you squeeze it.
We should put this on newspaper later and see if it transfers.
Oh, you think you can transfer stuff with Circus peanuts?
Those taste like silly putty.
I don't think I've ever eaten silly putty, but I think I'm about to. All right, I'm diving in. Oh.
Yep, they're exactly like I remember.
Oh.
It's got like fake banana, like way dense marshmallow. And then like, when cotton candy gets kind of hard, it's got that graininess going on.
Dude, I have never had one of these before. Like, I had no clue they tasted like this.
Are you, did you find your new favorite treat?
This is so disappointing.
And we talked it down.
I know. Oh. But look at me. I'm still eating the rest of it. Oh, that's bad. That's real bad. Let's follow it up with something worse. Wax bottles. Here we come.
Now you have to bite into them, even though you don't like wax in your mouth.
Am I going to have to take a break and brush my teeth? Just because I can't stand the way weird stuff feels on my teeth? Just to be clear, you don't eat the wax, right?
Well, technically, you're supposed to bite the top off and drink the goo out, but
What do you do with the part you bit off?
I guess spit it out. I don't know. Here, let me
What the
get...
heck kind of candy is that?
You know what? That's what we're going to do. There you go. There's your little trash receptacle.
I have a really full trash can back here.
Okay, let's do it.
Wait, why'd I get the orange one? There's other colors in there, right?
Yeah, there's red, yellow, orange, green, blue. What color you want?
Which one do you think has the least amount of heartburn flavor.
Yellow? Let's try yellow.
Yellow? You ever had anything lemon flavored? It's like pure heartburn. You're trying to kill me.
I got red. That's got to be just about as bad.
I don't know.
We'll find out.
I guess so.
Okay, here we go.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Oh. Ugh. Oh, that's definitely lemon.
Oh, man.
Oh, no. No. Someone said, let's sell these?
Pretty much.
Oh. I mean, I'm going to finish it, but... Because I'm not a quitter.
Try blue one. Maybe it's better.
That tastes... Oh.
You remember those little, like...
That's so bad. I'm definitely going to try another one.
Remember those little, like, barrels that had the Kool-Aid stuff in it?
Yeah. The little... I think they were just called barrels, right?
Yeah.
I used to get them for the kiddos, and I think those are the ones you can buy like a 48 pack, and it's just a gigantic crate of Kool-Aid, pretty much.
Yeah. Did you stop because your kids said they didn't love you anymore? Because
that blue one's not as bad. You know those big ice pop deals?
yeah,
The blue, like the little plastic tube things that are frozen. Oh, you're giving me all the flavors?
you're gonna try them all.
Oh boy, that blue one tasted like one of those. What are those icy things called? You know what I'm talking
the
about,
Freezy
though.
Pops or whatever those things are.
Yeah, the big weird plastic tube that comes in as like a liquid, and then you have to freeze it first. Kids think it's great, but it's anything that comes in like a 100 pack is a little sketchy.
Yeah, you get like 100 pack for like $3 or something. It's some obnoxiously low price.
Yeah,
So how's this chewing on the wax for your teeth going?
I'm having a real problem with it, but I'm powering through. The blue one tasted like those ices. That was the point I was getting to.
Well, that's better than what the red one tastes like.
It tastes like cheap Kool-Aid. Mm-hmm. Did you try a yellow one?
No, I'll try a yellow one. I'm running out of places to spit these, though.
Yeah, try the yellow one. Infinitely worse than the other two I've tried so far. I mean, whatever.
It was just awful from the get-go.
I know. The noise you made. Oh, it was awful.
Okay.
Oh. The orange isn't too bad. No, wait. The orange is really bad. I just didn't get in far enough.
Oh, gosh.
It's terrible.
These are awful.
I know. Why?
Who invented these, Nazis?
And they're in wax.
I'm going to eat more of these to get it out of my mouth.
They're selling this stuff to kids? I know. I need a circus peanut to get this flavor out of my mouth.
Oh, I'm not looking forward to this either, but you know what? It's better than what I just ate.
I know. I did not expect there to be any sort of banana flavor in these peanuts.
Yeah, I forgot it was banana.
I did not know that.
Oh,
That was a shock to me. This is...
just pure awful.
I don't want to throw it away because it'll get like mice and bugs in here. Well, I might need to empty that trash can anyway since it's like overflowing.
All right, let's try a taffy. That's got to be the best out of all of it.
Ugh.
Because I mean, it's just plain taffy. Taffy's hard to mess up.
Wash it down with a monster. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, this is gonna stick with me till tomorrow.
This is bad stuff.
We gotta find more bad candies.
This stuff is unsanctified.
Okay, so let's go through what we've done so far.
It's John Deere, Dad. Green and yellow.
That's you got to eat that one then.
You gotta. What flavor are you getting?
Not yellow.
Purple and white. Let's go Rams.
Sure, why not?
That's what I tell.
Purple and white.
Anytime I talk about my motorcycle to Max, he's like, you like your motorcycle, don't you, Dad? I was like, yeah, it's purple and white. Let's go Rams. That's the official color of it.
Oh my gosh.
Aw. Taffy?
I'm glad I don't have a lot of dental work.
Oh, no. No. You know how I said I have a real problem with wax on my teeth? That taffy was infinitely worse. Like it stuck, and when I had to pull it off of my molars, I had a real problem with that. That's what it felt like.
Oh my gosh.
That's terrible.
Like the flavor's not awful on these. It's just it's really kind of like eating a circus peanut, except a little gooier.
Circus peanuts are soft. Like I couldn't even eat it to the point of it softening up at all. It was too hard. I stuck my teeth into it.
Ugh.
And when I went to pull my teeth out, it did that little pop where it finally let go of my teeth. And I think I got goosebumps head to toe after that. I just felt my skin crawl and said, that's it. I'm done.
And done. Where'd I put my drink?
I don't know.
Well, that's concerning.
What did you have to drink?
A big pink monster.
Did you have a bug juice and a pack of Fig Newtons? That was one of my favorite stories Isaac told me a long time ago. He used to work over the summer at a landscaping place here in town, and it's just a whole crew of like high school kids. They run around, they do all the work, and they stopped at a gas station. They said, hey, you want anything? He's like, yeah, just grab me whatever. Huge mistake to not be specific. So they just ran in and got him whatever. And what they brought back out was bug juice and a package of Fig Newtons. And I don't know. I think it changed him a little bit because we'll stop at a gas station occasionally while we're working. Mm-hmm. And like, if he's looking around, he'll say like, okay, here's this really strange type of Mountain Dew. I'm going to get that because it's different. And we'll randomly pick up like a Hostess cake and something like that. He like buys the stuff that I never would have thought to buy for myself. Mm-hmm. It's interesting.
That's funny. I thought you were going to say he's like PTSD, and you're like, let's try this new thing. He's just, no.
Yeah.
No.
You show him a Fig Newton, he flies off the handle.
You should go to Sam's and get like the biggest package of Fig Newtons you can, just leave it in his car.
How big of a package can you get?
I have no clue. I'm sure big if you go to Sam's.
Can buy big packs of everything there. Last year when I went on that hike in Seattle, before we left, we went to Costco. And my buddy says, yeah, we're going to need like some carbs, keep some energy while you're doing this. And he said the thing that he found the year before that worked really well was...
Circus peanuts?
No, it was dried mangoes is what it was. Circus peanuts.
Aren't you going to take those on your hike this year?
That's it, man. I'm going to take 5 bags of circus peanuts, and that's all I'm going to eat for 3 days.
Well, you'll lose weight, that's for sure. If you get about 2 bites in, be like, I'm done. I don't care if I'm hungry.
I'm going to lose weight and self-respect. It's going to be a cleanse of everything.
Start calling you the worm because you'll be out there eating and pooping dirt.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, but we got these dried mangoes, just crammed little Ziploc bags full of them and ate them. It was really good, and it kept my energy level up pretty well. But eventually you kind of got tired of that sugary glaze on the outside. But
yeah, I'm not a huge fan of dried fruit. Like when you were a kid, everyone had the banana chips. It always seemed like everyone had banana chips. I always hated those things. They were just disgusting.
Banana chips seems like something that no kid ever bought ever, but their parents always got them and packed them in their lunch.
Yeah. Well, it's like candy.
Yeah.
No, it's not, Mom. Unless you're feeding me circus peanuts, it's not even close.
Yeah, you're walking through the store, no kid's like, "Ooh, can we get these?" Yeah. It's always like the mom saying, "We don't want to forget your banana chips."
Yeah, the kids over there just like, if the kid could cuss, he'd be cussing a whole lot right then.
Yeah.
F you, Mom.
Yeah. Banana chips.
I don't want banana chips. I want fruit by the foot.
Yeah. That one's not a real desirable one.
Yeah.
There's some of those other foods that we used to get when we were young that like we never would have picked out ourselves, but because our parents always got them. But strangely enough, some of them I grew to really like. I never would have, on my own merit, because I was a kid, purchased grape nuts. Mm-hmm. As an adult, I actually kind of like them.
Oh, I even liked them as a kid. I don't know why. I always just liked grape nuts. I liked brand flavored things, though.
Yeah. I warmed up to them once I learned to warm them up. I liked warm grape nuts because it softened them.
Yeah.
When they were still hard, it made my teeth hurt. I have a thing with my teeth, apparently.
Well, that's like one of those deals too. Like, you almost have to learn how to eat grape nuts because you got to like put them in there and like pour the milk on, and then set the timer for like 2 minutes. Then you go back and eat them. Because if you don't, you're gonna have to have dental work. Yes.
Yeah, you got to learn. So I took a grape nuts class when I was in college. What are you, some kind of savage, pouring the milk on them and eating them straight?
Listen, I'm an expert. I took a class at the Caluthi Center. I know what I'm talking about.
I took grape nuts. It was down the hall, 102.
Yeah.
Professor Tippett taught it.
Tippett.
He puts banana pills on his grape nuts.
Mr. Tippett's banana pills.
Mr. Tippett was...
That's definitely an inside joke there.
No kidding. That was all secondhand knowledge for me. I never was around Mr. Tippett.
I wasn't either. I was around Mrs. Tippett a lot.
Yeah.
I remember we had a talent show, and I signed up to play the entertainer on the kazoo.
Oh, no.
And then I forgot to do anything about it. It was like the day of. And they're like, oh, you're still going to play it? And I was like, oh, yeah, no, I forgot to buy a kazoo.
No way.
She was so mad.
Oh, my gosh.
But who asks like a first grader? It's like, what do you want to do for the talent show? And they say, I'm going to play entertainer on a kazoo. And you're like, all right, I'm going to sign you up. You're going to get your own slot on here. It's like, yeah, I don't trust you to come through.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing where you're supposed to send a note home to the parents, because a first grader is never going to say, well, I've got this project. Do I need have a list of supplies? I'm going to go home and tell my mother immediately so she can get the supplies for me.
Mom, I'm going to need we're going to need to go kazoo shopping. I'm thinking about the Horner, but
yeah, never happened.
Oh,
for sure. What did Mrs. Tippett do at that school?
That I don't know. I know she like did all the music stuff, so maybe she's like a music teacher. But it's been long enough now. For the life of me, can't remember.
I can't either. For those listening that don't know, we're private school kids up to like a certain grade. What grade did you get out?
Oh, I got out in 3rd grade.
3rd grade?
Yep.
Man.
I went all the way to 3rd.
I went clear to 6.
Yeah, well, I had Big Rig Twig, so.
Mrs. Big Rig Twig?
Yeah.
We always joked that she just pulled the driver and passenger seat out of her vehicle and just sat in the bench in the 2nd row and drove from there.
That's awesome.
That woman could fill up a minivan, that's for sure.
Well, it was funny because 3rd grade year, we went through the whole thing, and she literally would just sit at her desk and eat a candy bar and drink diet soda all day. And by the end of the year, I actually had not learned anything. Like, I was not reading any farther along. My math skills weren't up to where they needed to be. And my mom went and complained, and nothing happened. They're like, oh, no, she's going to teach next year. My mom was like, well, Daniel's not going.
So the whole reason you got out is because of Big Rig Twig?
Pretty much.
Whoa.
She was so bad at her job, my mom was like, I can do a better job myself. We're going to homeschool him.
There you go.
And she did a way better job. But when your mom's the teacher, stuff gets real.
Yeah, I've never experienced that.
Because it's like, well, there's 2 types of homeschool kids. There's the kind that do nothing. I've known a few of those where the kid doesn't want to do work or whatever, and the parents just says, oh, that's fine. And then there's ones like my mother, who basically, if I didn't get my stuff done, I would feel repercussions throughout the rest of my life.
She was a bit of a taskmaster then, huh?
Oh man, she'd come back there and check on me, make sure I was doing what I was supposed to be doing when I was, doing the work. And of course we had, I think I had a little halogen light that was my desk lamp. So she'd leave and I'd be sticking the paper up in it, lighting it on fire and stuff. Then she'd come back and all the corners would be singed off the papers and I'd get yelled at. And then
what an ADD kid move.
Yeah.
Or wait a minute, what a kid move.
Pretty much.
Of any sort.
And then it got rough the older I got. Because, you know how kids get. Like when they're small, they're easier. And then as they get older and older and older, every year gets a little harder to, deal with in terms of, attitude and everything else.
Yeah.
And so when it got to 8th grade, my mom was like, you're going back to the academy. And I went to the academy, and
You went back?
yeah, I remember you went with me that one time and saw, what was Nick's brother's name? The kid that you were friends with.
Jonathan Deutsch.
Jonathan. Remember you saw him and he didn't like talk to you or something because you had long hair? Or
Yeah, I
something
was
like
like,
that?
he was one of my best buds back there. And then I showed up and he's like,
Looks like a public school kid to me.
Yeah. You should just be wearing a shirt that says sin across it. Sinner.
oh, I forgot my sin shirt.
Yeah. And remember, because we went to a basketball game. That's what we went to. Do you remember?
Yeah.
And you remember the cheerleaders?
Yeah.
They had like almost to calf level skirts that were not skirts. They were shorts.
Super long.
Like they looked like pleated skirts, but then when they do the splits, the skirt would go with them.
You're like, wait a minute.
Are they wearing rave
Shorts.
pants?
Rave pants. Leave it to like a strict Christian school like that to pull out some like ridiculous dress code stuff.
Oh gosh. Yeah, and for anyone listening, we went to the private school, but this isn't like Chicago, like 800 kids. You're actually going to get like a fantastic education where you're going to come out and all the colleges are going to want you because, you know, you didn't have to do the No Child Left Behind stuff or anything. They just straight drilled it into you, whooped you with a yardstick type of deal. No, this was 10 kids in a old schoolhouse out in the middle of a cornfield with a bunch of people from one church teaching everything.
Oh yeah. That's kind of a different thing.
Yeah.
This is the small, tight-knit group where...
It's like the David Koresh of private schools.
Exactly. I remember I farted in class one time, and one guy sitting right next to me, he just said, "P.U. stinky." And then he like encouraged his friends to call me P.U. stinky after that. It didn't stick. He got it pulled off for about a day and a half, and then everybody gave up on it.
I was trying to get a guy at work a nickname today. And
What's that?
I was trying to get one of the other, I think it may stick. We'll see tomorrow. And they were calling, I got the other maintenance guy to call this maintenance guy Stinkbait.
Stink bait? Where'd that come from?
Oh, they were fish taping up in my ceiling. And so, like, whenever someone like that is in my office just making a racket and I'm not able to get much of my work done, I just sit there and harass them the whole time.
There you go.
And so they're sitting there and they're putting this fish tape up through the drop ceiling trying to get to a wire. And I was like, "That's fish tape, right?" And they're like, "Yeah." "You ever catch fish on that thing?" And they're like, "No." And I'm like, "What kind of bait are you using? Are you using like a piece of master brand?" And it's like, that might be catfish bait, like more of a stink bait. And the other guy just kind of looks at me and is like, "You would be a good stink bait." And the other guy just started laughing. I was like, I think your new nickname's Stink Bait. Is that cool?
That is the most. It's so influenced by like the child line of thinking, where you're a kid and you're like, "I'm gonna call you stink bait."
Yeah.
But then also you're like,
You're running a fish through a drop ceiling. Do you use a piece of master brand?
where there's still like definite adult overtones to it.
You got
So
just
that's-
enough adult in you that you can flavor the joke.
Yes, that's the perfect blend right there. Like, these
Well-
taxes in Illinois are ridiculous. Also, I had diarrhea for 5 years.
No, it's funny too because they run like Cat 6 cable, which is, you know, the Ethernet cable.
Yeah.
I was like, what are you running? And they're like, "Oh, we're running Cat 6. I was like, "Well, last time I was running that stuff, it was Cat 5. I was like, "They added a whole extra cat on there, didn't they?" And he was just like, "What?" I'm just like, "You think the cat is like horsepower? So like, you know, a car is, you know, 100 horse or whatever, and it's as strong as 100 horses supposedly." I was like, "Do you think because it's like it's Cat 6, it's as fast as 6 cats?" And like,
What kind of logic is that?
I was bored and I couldn't do my work, so I was just
Okay,
making
now
crap.
that makes total sense.
I'm just sitting there making crap up just to harass them. Of course, I mean, I'm halfway friends with them anyway, so it's like, it's not so much that I'm like this guy that they don't know. It's just like, is this guy an idiot? Like, is he straight up an idiot? Because after I told him the cat thing, I was like, "Yeah, You think that there's an extra cat in there? He just kind of looks at me funny and be like, yeah, that's right. I'm the guy that's in charge of all the money right now.
Yeah. That guy's the accountant here. He's the what? The accountant. The look of horror.
Don't you look at me like that, stink bait.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I miss giving people nicknames. Like, for some reason in Shelbyville schools, in my era, everybody had a nickname. Was it that way when you were around?
Kinda.
I think it was mostly because of Mr. Chikaluski. He was the civics teacher, and he gave everyone a nickname.
Oh, yeah. Mr. C was, I showed up sophomore year, and he was gone. My freshman year would have been his last year.
Oh, gotcha.
So the kids I went to class with had him, but I never did. Of course, his daughter used to babysit for me. Lisa? I think it was Lisa.
I never knew any of his kids.
And when I worked at Eagle Creek, he worked in the pro shop. He was hilarious because
He worked in the pro shop?
like
That was his retirement gig?
Well, it was. I think he worked out there for a long time though. That was his summer job.
Does he still work there?
I would hope not, considering it's closed.
It's covered in mold and has been condemned.
Mr. Chikaluski's still sitting out there. Where's my paycheck?
Yeah. I got a nice polo shirt for you.
Yeah. Oh gosh. No, I mean, there's a lot of kids that had nicknames, but I feel like there weren't nearly as many. Like, I don't know. There's like 3 or 4 kids that I hung out with that had nicknames. Everyone else had no nickname.
Oh, man. We had loads of them. Like, I had long hair back in high school, so Mr. C called me Jesus.
Oh, P.S. Mr. C was a very dirty man when he wasn't at school.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, he was just, he was dirty old man, that's for sure. He was great to talk to.
Yeah, there were some of those people that, like, they were good around the kids, and I like them as people, but then you get them away from the pack, and it's like, okay, Mr. Wolverton was a little rough around the edges. Mr. C was a little mouthy. The infamous Russ Helton, like, helped do some coaching and stuff, and that guy is one of the nicest guys ever, but, man, it was always so much fun seeing him at a football game or something because he got so fired up.
That's funny. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird to see teachers outside of class.
I agree.
And then I did like a substitute taught at the school here once, which P.S. was awful. I'd rather work at a factory than be a teacher. And it's weird being on the other side, too, because the teachers hate going to school just as much as the kids. Like, it's exactly the same. Like when they go when they go home, they're going to drink a lot.
Oh, boy.
Because they're not dealing well with their day.
Yeah, when you got to put up with high school kid shenanigans.
Well,
it's really not surprising.
How would you like to deal with like 100 high school kids a day?
I would lose my mind.
Drinking becomes quite the option.
Oh, my gosh. High school kids, like, I can't even be around them in, like, a store or something before I'm just like, whoa. I've turned into a total
old man.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm like definitely an old man.
Oh, another awesome story about my brother.
Oh, great.
This is great. This is when he had like an old man moment and he was laughing at himself and he told me about it. He had a riding lawnmower. It was my dad's old John Deere mower.
This is starting out well, by the way.
He had it there at his place. It needed to be serviced, like the oil changed and all that stuff. And Isaac and I happened to be free that day, so we drove over to Pawnee to do the service for him. We got all the filters and crap that we needed. Went over there and just did it on his property. We said we'd take care of it for him. And when we were done, like his mower, he hadn't run it yet, and he doesn't have a shed or anything to put it in, so it was setting outside. Mm-hmm. So it had a nice layer of dirt on the top of the hood. So when we were finished servicing it, we went and put it back next to his house where he parked it. I just stuck my finger in the dirt and then just drew a wiener on the hood, on the hood of this mower. And then we were done, said bye, left. And it was like, I don't know, it was a few days later. he like I said something to him about it. The next time I saw him, I was like, "Oh yeah, before we left, I drew a wiener on the hood of your mower," and he said, "That was you?" It's like there's always kids walking down that alley, and I was a total old man, like was just shaking his fist, saying, "Darn kids running around the back alleys drawing wieners on mowers." And he totally old manned about it, and
That's
thought
awesome.
like he was laughing at himself, and I was just dying laughing.
That's fantastic.
So if you ever see a mower sitting outside,
That's hilarious. Oh man.
it was a good one. I enjoyed it.
So yeah, I was playing around. Like I was playing around with stuff for the podcast, and I actually changed the server we were on. I think I was telling you about that.
Yeah.
We're on a better one, and it has better metrics, and it's a little bit cheaper. It's not a whole lot cheaper, but it's a little cheaper, and it's just all around it does everything a little better. It's a little uglier for the screen, but we can fix that later.
Yeah.
But the place I got this shirt, like it's kind of like a cafe press or somewhere like that where you can make an item, put it on a store, and then it's made to order and direct ship. So you don't ever have to buy anything. Someone can go on and click, order it, and it'll show up at their house.
Oh, gotcha.
And so I was on here doing that over a lunch break, I think. And I made a bunch of things.
I saw that you made that button that said pancake bagel bed.
Yeah. So that's on there now. I could put a link on there for that. So if anyone wants a bagel bed button.
Pancake bagel bed.
And it's like those, remember back when, probably when you were in high school or right after, when everyone had those 1-inch buttons and they put them all over everything. It was bands. It was.
Oh yeah, every punk rock kid put them all over.
Put them down.
Put him on his jean jacket and his backpack.
Yeah, put it down the strap of your messenger bag with a bunch of safety pins.
Oh, exactly. I totally did that stuff. You go to Cornerstone Festival and see all the bands, and you'd buy like stupid patches for the ska bands and everything.
Yeah, so we have one of those buttons right now that you can buy on there. We also have a clock on there. It's just this big square white clock, nothing, like no background picture, no numbers, no nothing. It just says, Bradley, time to get your chili soup. Which I plan on buying at some point and hanging in here or in the studio at my house when we get that done.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Because I feel like it's kind of expensive. It's like 20-something bucks, but it's a clock. We need a clock down there. Might as well get one. That's funny.
Might as well get one that has a reference to chili soup on it.
That's right.
Does anybody know what time it is? Time to get your chili soup. Pretty much.
Chili soup. So if any of the people I talked to at Jasper are listening to this, apparently in southern Indiana, they actually call it chili soup over there too. But their chili is different than our chili. And there's one guy I talked to at work, Dylan, and he's from, I forget where he's from. He's from over there. I think he maybe Terre Haute.
He's from over by there?
Yeah. Anyway, he had, he said he, like when he first moved out, because he lived in Grants Pass, Oregon for a little while. And when he was living up there, he ordered chili. And they brought it out, and it was a bowl of what we would call chili, and he was so disappointed because it didn't have noodles in it.
What?
And when he told me that, I was like, what are you talking about? Chili doesn't have noodles in it. And he's like, well, it's supposed to. And I'm like, no, it's not supposed to. Yeah. So apparently, if you're in Indiana and you order chili soup, it's going to come with noodles. I've not ordered it, so I don't know. Maybe this is just like a regional thing. Maybe Luke or Dylan or one of those guys will message me tomorrow and be like, listen here, idiot, it's not everywhere around here.
Well, it's regional to call it chili soup at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no noodles in it, but like just I've heard extended family members like refer to it as chili soup, and I don't know why.
Yeah, the general manager at the plant, he calls it chili soup. And it's like, what are you having for lunch? Oh, I brought some chili soup. I'm just like, okay.
Well, it's in a bowl, isn't it?
Yeah, it's soup. It's got liquid.
What else do you eat out of a bowl?
I'm going to start calling it chili stew.
There
just
you
to
go.
be different.
I had cereal soup for breakfast.
It's a cold soup.
Oh, cold soup.
You ever had cold soup?
No. What kind of soup?
I'm trying to think. There's a few of them. I'm trying to think. There's one I had that had mint in it, but I can't remember what it was.
Ew.
It was good, though. It tasted good. You just can't go into it thinking, oh, I got me a big old bowl of hot Campbell's. You got to just know what you're getting into.
And what you're getting into is cold soup.
Yep. I'm going to find you some cold soup at some point.
If you found cold soup, I'd eat it just out of curiosity.
It's
much
not
like
bad.
Circus peanuts. Just out of curiosity.
I could tell you it's exponentially, maybe even geometrically better than Circus peanuts.
Most things are.
Yeah. You need another one?
No.
You know, you probably could leave those out for the mice, and it would probably kill them.
When we're done recording this, you want to just go dump it in the living room and let my dogs eat them?
That may cause a blockage. I don't
They'd
know.
probably be ticked at me for like days on end.
They would definitely have a tummy ache.
Yeah. Thought I'd get a delicious treat, but I got some weird banana silly putty.
They'd eat it.
Oh, yeah, they'd eat it.
Then they'd look like they're crapping gum later.
Yeah. They'll eat anything.
Yeah.
I had to move a table at Nicole's house the other day, and I found one little Lego that I had dropped when we were assembling this huge semi thing. Mm-hmm. Max and I were working on it. I couldn't find one of these little black studs for the Technic sets. I moved the table, and there it was, but I was in the process of moving a different piece of furniture through the doorway there. Come back in, one of the dogs just eating it. It's like, oh, it's a chunk of plastic the size of a small pill or something. And this guy's like, looks like a treat to me. Nom, 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 nom.
I like the crunchy ones.
Yeah. Well, it's real crunchy. It's Legos.
Alex, he had a dog that was not real bright. Well, I don't know if he wasn't real bright, but he was a Labrador. So, like, those dogs eat just about everything.
Yeah.
And if I remember it right, I mean, Alex may correct me next time I see him, but I think he was changing the air filter on his car, and the dog ate the entire thing whole. Like, just like ran off with it and just ate it. All of it. Plastic, paper, everything.
Isn't there like a wire mesh inside of a bunch of those?
I'm pretty sure he ate that too.
That's not good on the old tummy.
No. You know when you eat like Taco Bell or something and you have, like you said, the upside down volcano?
Yeah.
Can you imagine having that after eating metal mesh from an air filter?
Oh my. Oh. Here comes the eruption, and oh, you thought it was bad passing a kidney stone.
Yeah.
Try passing a ball of wire mesh from an air filter through your beehole.
Yeah. You know, I wasn't a big fan of passing that barbed wire.
Yeah. Scrape and scratch all the way out.
It's not itchy anymore, though.
Yeah.
Gosh, that's an awful thought.
That is, That's the only way I can describe it.
Yeah, I'm done with that line of thought.
Oh.
Oh, man. But yeah, I'm excited to get the room downstairs done. That's coming along.
Yeah. It looks like you're really digging into it. As my grandma would say, you're doing major surgery.
Yeah. I'm pretty Oh, that was you that sent me that one.
Yeah.
I was like, someone sent me that. Oh, it was you. That's right.
Yep. That was her thing. Like you go digging into some kind of big project and she would say, oh, you're doing major surgery there.
That's funny.
I loved it. Made me laugh every time I heard it.
Yep. I got to finish the mud and the drywall probably tomorrow. I'm going to get all that ceiling junk ready and then spray everything on Thursday. Start hanging it, and I'll be done.
Spray everything, meaning paint?
Mm-hmm. Oh, did I tell you got that paint sprayer?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, like $50. It was $20 more than buying all the crap to roll. And I was like, this thing will actually do a better job, and I never have to use a roller again in my life.
You doing anything to the floor?
Carpets and tiles.
Okay.
Those are going to be really easy to put down.
There you go. And you're doing it last, so you don't have to be super clean
That's
with the
right.
paint.
I just get it everywhere. I can just roll around and paint if I really want to.
There you go. I was going to say, if you're spraying it and redoing the floor after the fact, that's a good idea right there.
Yeah.
You're like, I can just wave this thing around.
Woo!
Shoo! Are you going to graffiti it first and then even it out?
Probably not.
Just write poop really big. Take a picture of it.
And then send it.
Then send it.
There you go. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how the paint sprayer goes.
Cool. Well, I hope it works well. Because that'd be a slick way to do it if it does.
And I'm expecting that as long as I don't hit any major explosions, this thing should be done by the end of the weekend, I think.
Sweet.
So we can record this next week at my house.
There you go.
And I got a bunch of that. Actually, I got the 2-inch stuff, so.
Big old foam for the walls.
Yep. It'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
But speaking of butt, you know how I said it smelled like butt earlier?
Yes.
I figured it out.
What is it?
It's this dang shirt. Should have washed it.
The Browley shirt smells like butt?
I'm pretty sure someone that had less than perfect hygiene test drove this shirt. It smells awful.
It's been used to wipe with at one point in time. They're like, go ahead and send it to them.
Someone's like, man, my taint's sweaty. I'll just use that shirt. We're mailing it today anyway.
The motion of flossing your cheeks with a t-shirt.
I get it. And it's like, I didn't order brown.
Yeah. This is more of a 3-tone than a 2-tone.
Then you say, oh.
Oh, no. That's not good for the shirt.
I paid real paper money for this.
I paid all kinds of paper money for some stinky old fish.
Oh.
I can't get enough of Steve Brule.
Steve Brule is fantastic.
So odd. Just the subtleties of like him walking up onto the little stage platform thing and just tripping over himself. Like that is such a small detail, but it made me laugh so hard.
Or like the lighting is off timing. Like the music plays and ends and then it doesn't fade up like it's supposed to right then. Like they missed the cue totally.
Yeah. Everything is just designed to emulate amateur hour in every way. And it cracks me up. Everything's fuzzy. It's like that really low quality public access video from the 80s.
I was saying you could tell it's like the universal tape they were using where they're supposed to be recording over it, and then there's like the splices where they didn't record over it. It's just,
yes. Oh,
the tracking's all off on the VHS.
You want to know my favorite splice story? I don't remember if I've told you this before, but we taped this Donald Duck special that was on TV, and we were watching it, and it was recording as we were watching it because we just knew like this is a big deal. This is Donald Duck, and we're going to be watching this one a lot, so we got to tape it. So we're taping it, and my brother and I are just totally into it. We're hypnotized by this, and it gets to this part where there's a little montage of him in a like hot rod car. Donald's rip roaring up and down the roads, and it's playing Born to Be Wild. Get your motor running, and he's just ripping up and down the roads. And when it gets to the part of that song, that Born to Be Wild, then it goes to the drum solo. Right in the middle of that drum solo, my dad had come in the room, picked up the remote, didn't realize we were taping anything, and changed the channel. So we rewatched this tape. We got him to change it right back. Mm-hmm. We're like, Dad, we're taping that. And he changed it back. But every time we watched that VHS, it was Born to Be Wild, and he's rip-roaring with his car, and it gets to the little drum solo, and right in the middle of the drum solo, it cut to Perfect Strangers, and Larry was there like shaking his finger, griping at Balky, and then 2 seconds later it cuts back to Donald Duck, and that's how I remember that movie being.
That's hilarious. Balky. I forgot about that show.
Perfect Strangers. That's where Harriet from Family Matters got her start.
Really?
She was like the elevator lady on that show.
That's awesome.
Or like a security cop lady or whatever that was around the elevator.
Kind of like Carl Winslow.
Yeah, when they first developed Family Matters, they actually developed it around her. And then Urkel kind of stole the spotlight and took over.
And I do that.
Yeah. I was all about TGIF, man.
Oh, man. Step by step.
I loved it. Whole thing. We used to always go to Sullivan. We used to ride with my grandma up there. We'd pick up my great grandma. We'd go to Pizza Hut. We'd get personal pan pizzas, and we were lucky if we had the little book it button thing, and we could get one for free. And then we'd go play the arcade game, and it was one of two things. It was either the 4-player Ninja Turtles game,
That was fantastic.
or it was the 4-player Simpsons game.
That was a good one too.
Both were phenomenal. We'd do that, then we'd go back to my great grandma's house, and we'd watch TGIF.
That sounds fantastic.
It was the best.
I kind of want to do that now.
I know. Well, they got a bunch of the TGIF stuff on Hulu, don't they?
Yeah, but where am we going to find a Simpsons arcade machine and a personal pan pizza?
Time to hit eBay on the Simpsons thing. The personal pan pizza, we're out of luck in this town.
Yeah.
There's no Pizza Hut in Sullivan either, is there?
Nope. Closest one would be what, Decatur?
Is there still one? No, the one in Mattoon closed a while ago,
Yep.
didn't it? There's probably one in Decatur, but I don't know.
I know there's one out by the Menards, but I don't know.
Yeah. I know Aaron worked at the one in Decatur for a little while, and at the point when he was working up there, I think he got like I don't remember if it was like a 22 or a BB, but he got a bullet hole through the door of his car up there.
Yeah.
Like, that's the most Decatur thing I've ever heard.
That's hilarious. Nothing more gangster than a 22.
Yeah. I got a 22. I'm going to shoot up a Saturn Ion in the parking lot of the Pizza Hut
Yeah.
because I'm crazy. That's the gang initiation. Yeah. What you got to do, you got to go downtown to the Pizza Hut, and there's a black Saturn Ion. You got to shoot through the passenger door of that thing.
And Aaron just comes out, why do I keep getting holes in my door?
But why? That implies it happened more than once.
Right?
Keep getting holes in my door. This one was a 22. The first one was a lawnmower mishap. Like Final Destination. You ever watch those movies?
Yeah. Those, what was it? I've been watching some like horror movies lately, and I realized that with those kind of, with scary movies, there's really like two types. You have the kind where it's, it can be supernatural, it can be whatever, but it's just scary, and they're running from the evil, and whatever it is killing everyone, and they got to get away from it. And then the other kind is where they can actually beat the evil. And so like they're running from the people, and then someone gets a gun and shoots them or something. It's more like a zombie movie at that point nearly.
Yeah.
Like you're still probably going to die, but you're going to go down fighting type of deal. Where the other one is you just run screaming the whole time and do nothing for your own self-preservation.
Yeah. That's probably pretty accurate. What the way I kind of pared down scary movies is you have ones that seem to be more psychological.
And you've got that dimension too. So you can go more psychological, more like, I guess they call it like body horror or whatever, where
where it's
getting,
just
like, torn up,
straight gore, like that whole thing, where it's like, okay, the story isn't all that scary. It's been done about 200 times. So in order for us to make it scary, we're going to make it as grotesque as possible.
Or they're going to go to Eastern Bloc Russia and stay at a hotel that's actually more like a hostel, and then they're just going to get cut by blowtorches and crap like that.
Yeah. What if a guy like tortures him?
Like eyeballs falling out. That's what I want to see.
Sounds like a chill Saturday evening watch. It's been a long week. I think I want to watch someone get tortured in the basement of a hostel.
Yeah.
Oh, great film.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy, Eli Roth, that made those movies, he made another one about like a cannibal tribe. I forget what it was called. Green something. Green Inferno. Mm-hmm. I got it from Redbox. I was like, oh, I'll give it a whirl. It's kind of fascinating. They had the whole setup where, okay, these are the characters. They're on some kind of humanitarian mission out in the jungle and all of this. They're out here doing their thing. And then once they finally run into the cannibal tribe, I lasted maybe 2.5 to 3 minutes once the cannibals showed up. And it was so over the top grotesque. I just popped the disc out, put it in the case, and took it back. I was like, that is too much for me.
Yeah. Well, and then it's not even like I mean, if you're going to watch that stuff, you might as well go to Ogreish or somewhere like that and just look at.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the type of audience that you're aiming at there when you're doing that stuff, is people who just like to see gruesome, awful, heinous stuff. I mean, I don't even know what to say about that stuff.
Yeah, I don't care for that. Not my thing. I like some scary movies, but I don't know. As of recent, I've become more fascinated with, if I'm in the mood for something like that, watching a documentary of some sort of true crime thing where,
Yeah.
you know, more of an interview type setup or something like that.
Well, and I don't know. I've always been a sci-fi fan. And don't get me wrong, I enjoy a good movie with some strong violence. Like, well,
Are you condoning violence?
I am in movies at least.
Okay. As long as I can enjoy watching it, yes.
Did you ever see the newest? Well, it's not new anymore, but it was the newest Judge Dredd that they made.
No, I didn't.
Fantastic.
Really?
It's fantastic.
Who was in that?
Was it Carl Urban?
Carl Urban.
I think.
Keith Urban?
No, not Keith Urban.
Sweet thing. He's humming that to himself while he's going around blasting dudes.
No, it's like trying to think what other movies he's been in. He was in Lord of the Rings. He's been in a bunch of movies. He's just he's not a name that you would know usually, but like you see the face.
He's a face you'd know, not a name you'd know.
Yeah, let me see if I can find him. But
There you go. While you're doing that, what is that? That is butt cheeks and it says fart. That's, oh my gosh, that makes me want to get an Apple Pencil for my iPad so I can draw a toot cartoon now.
I think I drew that and showed it to Evan. just because
We're good parents.
it's the stuff my mom didn't let me do.
I know. Hey, bud. Poop.
Yeah.
If I do that stuff to him, he loves it.
Oh, they were Evan and so we were going to Menards this weekend. Well, once we hit Mount Zion and we were going to go through Decatur because there's a bunch of stuff going on, like construction. It's like Decatur is totally messed up right now with construction.
Oh, good.
Yeah. So we were driving and we're going down the road and I just hear Evan just go do the. I was like, "You making fart noises, buddy?" He's like, "Yeah." He's like, "That one was wet." And then Audrey's like, "No, it wasn't." And she goes, "That one was wet." And so like they're back there like having a wet mouth fart competition the rest of the trip.
Oh my gosh. And you are up in the front seat saying, "Wet your lips really good,
Yeah.
son."
You gotta make your lips looser. Looser lips and a lot more saliva.
Yeah, you got to make it sound like this. I'm oddly soothed. Oh, listen for it. Sniff that one, baby.
I have to get away from the microphone. I'm laughing too hard.
I told you I put some doozies on this soundboard.
That one's definitely. Gosh, I'm crying. Oh, I'm pretty sure I redlined that one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was the nastiest. That was so nasty.
I know, and somebody made it with that music in the background.
Like, what are you doing? He's sitting pudding beforehand.
That totally sounds like him. This is no surprise because I'm a mature adult.
Oh yeah.
That I just looked up fart videos on YouTube, and it's definitely not the first time I've done it because I found this one too.
Hey, Ty.
And in that one, the girl just, like, she is laughing at herself, and her brother's mouth is wide open. This kid's probably like 10, 11 years old, and his mouth is wide open, and he just says, "Was that real?"
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, I forgot to picture the guy. It's less important now, but
Oh, that guy. I know the face.
yeah, I mean, you've probably seen him and stuff. It's just
What's his name? Keith Urban?
No, Carl Urban.
Carl Urban.
Carl with a K.
Carl Winslow. Got it.
So K Urban. Kerbin.
Carl Otis Winslow. Initials Cow.
I never noticed that.
Oh, yeah. I think Adam Baker pointed that out to me one time.
That sounds like an Adam Baker thing to point out.
Like he noticed that stuff. He picks out all the details out of those shows.
Well,
like he said, did you ever notice that on Full House, whenever there's like a real serious, heavy issue happening, they're like, I don't think Dad wants me around anymore. And then it always has this doo-doo-dee-doo, doo-doo-dee-doo-dee-dee. And fade to commercial. He's like, every time there's the heavy topic, they play that exact same tune. It's like, man, I never would have noticed that if he hadn't pointed it out.
Yeah, it's funny. And it's funny, too, because, like, you never notice it, right? And then Adam tells you, from that point forward, that's the only frickin' thing that you will ever notice on that show. Like, it starts up, and you're like, no, they're going to do it again.
Exactly. I did something similar to that at my church because I know some of the people that do the video announcements. And basically, when they do their video announcements, there's a light little music playing in the background. They're kind of talking and doing the announcements, moving their hands around and stuff. And I went up to one girl and was like, doing the announcements, huh? And looked up at the screen and looked at her. And she said, yeah. And I said, what are you doing with your hands up there? And she, I like ruined it for her. And I took the liberty of doing that to the guy that does it now. Mm-hmm. I was like, hey, got some good announcements going on up there. It's like, thanks, buddy. Like, just joking around. He's a funny guy. And I said, what are you doing with your hands up there? And you just saw this look on his face where he's like, I'm going to be so self-conscious of all my hand gestures when I'm speaking in those videos from now on. It's like, you're welcome. I've ruined it for you.
That's fantastic.
Good night, everybody. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
It's funny. I think I did something like that, too. I think it was Caleb. When he listened to the first episode we did, and I was, I was telling him, it's we learned a lot. Like the first 15 minutes of that one kind of was us figuring out how to even talk on these things.
We didn't even talk about what we were going to do. We just like turned it on. We're like, all right, we go now.
Yeah. We're rolling. Okay. What do we do?
Yeah.
Let's see. Let's look around the room. But I was telling him, I was like, you don't like hearing your own voice. I was like, but you figure things out listening to it. Like I was speaking way too fast. And I said the word like way too much. And he was like, and he came back and was, I didn't notice that. I was like, that's all you're going to notice now if you listen to it.
Exactly. Well, I've just ruined it for you. You're welcome.
Oh, that's fantastic, though.
Oh, yeah.
Is that the guy, was that fart thing, was that the guy that just takes all those gross YouTube videos like him eating like chili dogs and getting it all over his shirt or farting, just being just super duper gross?
Yeah, he's like farting on his dog and on his dressers and everything.
It's just like a nasty dude.
Like this nasty? All I can picture now is the guy that sat in pudding. Thank you for that.
If it was banana pudding, it'd taste like this.
Oh my gosh. Bleh.
The verdict's still no. Circus peanuts are gross.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go ahead and not eat one.
We got to finish the bag tonight.
Honestly, if I had zero food in my house, I'd probably eat them. The taffy, if I had zero food in my house, I'd still throw them in the trash.
Light them on fire and laugh as they burn.
Yeah. So you can take those home, because my teeth will not stand for it. Your Honor, my teeth object.
That's funny.
Yes, but we've been, we've got some music, like our intro song and everything, and I have this other song on here that I think you and I need to do vocals to sometime. And it's this one. Which, great start to that one, too. Who did you say it reminds you of? George Clinton?
It kind of has that Parliament George Clinton feel to it.
Bill Clinton? It's got a Bill Clinton vibe to it. This is him coming on to all the interns.
Yeah.
Come on, ladies. How y'all doing
Come on,
tonight?
ladies.
Won't you come on down to the Oval Office? Hey, Big Billy, a visit.
Don't call me a Slick Willie for nothing, lady.
Maybe we don't need vocals. Maybe we just need narration over the top. Oh, drum fill. And my favorite part, right here, when it cuts off. Okay.
Does this thing have internet?
Yes, it does. I got the YouTubes on there. It's on the front page.
I'm gonna see if I can find that file again.
Which file's that?
That ridiculous song I made.
Oh, yeah.
Oh crap! Where's my phone?
It's got the Ninja Turtles. Well, I'll tell you what. If you're looking for a file, I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay.
I'm going to go Tinkles again.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back. Okay.
We are back.
We have returned. And should we return with some specialized music?
Yes.
All right.
I made this with my new microphone.
Robot voice.
Evan, could you just turn on the turtles, please?
Robot voice.
Ninja Turtles for your sister. Come on. Hurry it up.
Robot voice.
You've been playing games forever. Come on.
Was that a...
Yeah, I'm just going.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Oh.
If you ever decide you want to add music to that, I've got some for you.
That's awesome. Oh, old Morel Forest.
That's just rock solid tunes right there.
It's the only thing I jam out to.
I know. I listen to that song on repeat all day, every day. That's what I do.
That's funny.
Oh.
Ah.
So, when
Yes.
I had to run to Walmart this week, as we tend to do occasionally.
As adults,
And I
it's
noticed
all the
something
time.
that I had never really acknowledged just how much it bugged me. But earbuds in public.
Yes.
And I understand truckers with the big headsets and everything because they're doing their job. They wear those things all day, every day. It's like an article of clothing to them. Mm-hmm. But then the kids wearing like the baggy T-shirts. These darn kids, baggy T-shirts, drawing wieners on mowers, walking around with their earbuds in Walmart. And I don't understand. Like, it's such an effort to be disconnected from everything that's around you. I'm just going to wear my earbuds wherever I go. I want my shopping experience to be laced with the soundtrack of Five Finger Death Punch.
Five-finger butt punch.
Exactly. Like, I don't understand it.
Yeah, don't go to a college town then.
Well, I guess it's a little more understandable on college campuses because people are just walking to and from class, and that seems to be kind of commonplace. Also, exercising. When people are out running, people are working
that
out, they
makes
have
sense.
earbuds in. It makes sense. You're at the store, though.
Yeah. No, they do that. Like when I was in Charleston, they would just be walking. Like I've seen them walk around with like these kind of headphones on while they're shopping for groceries, and you can hear whatever their Little John or whatever they happen to be listening to at the time. Some sort of okay.
If it's not Lil Jon, it's something almost exactly like Lil Jon.
Yeah. It's just it's so like that was something I never really got. Like I understand loud music, enjoying your loud music and everything, but when I'm standing next to you and you have like studio quality headphones that are definitely blocking outside noise as well as noise inside the cup, and it's loud enough I can make out the words standing halfway down the aisle, like that can't be comfortable.
No.
Like that has to just be straight pain.
Yeah, that's just too much.
Yeah. Or like the cars that rattle your windows with the bass as they go past. Like the bass is cool, but if you're in there, everything has to be vibrating while you're going down the road. Like you're just seeing like blurry double vision of everything because it's just so.
Yes. I love audio. I've got subwoofers in both of my vehicles, but because I enjoy mixing music and stuff, I have them at the sweet spot where the music just sounds and feels big. It's not like I don't even care what it sounds like as long as it shakes stuff. I want my rear view mirror to be completely unusable. That's how much bass I want.
Can you cut out the highs and the mids? I just want the bass end, and I want it to play so loud I can barely even make out what the notes are. It's just straight up vibration.
Do you remember the old bass CDs they used to have back in the day?
Like Basement Jacks and stuff like that.
Oh, I had one. I forget what it was called, but it had bass in the title, and it was
Juicy Booty Bass Mix?
It wasn't anything like that. There was no anatomy involved at all. But it was like Bass Jams Volume 2 or something.
Kind of like Space Jams?
But I remember vividly this one song where it started out with just kind of this little hi-hat thing and this little sample of this person saying, feel the bass, feel the bass, feel bass, feel bass, feel. And it kept doing that over and over, and then all of a sudden it goes, boom.
Yeah. It's super low bass. If you hear it on regular speakers, you're like, I can't really hear that well. But then as soon as you put it on a subwoofer, you're like, oh, my hit my brain.
Yeah. Back in high school, I had subs in my truck, so it sounded like a bass CD should sound. And at one point, I remember listening to it in like a normal stereo that couldn't support those lower frequencies. And I was like, here it comes. It's going to kick in hard. And when it did, you just could not hear a single bit of difference because whatever stereo I was playing it through could not handle it at all. So it just sounded the exact same.
Yeah, it's like the frequencies are so low, regular speakers aren't going to reproduce it that well at all, like if at all.
Exactly. But in their defense, nobody is going to buy a bass CD unless they have some huge subs in their vehicle.
I'm going to listen to it on the stock paper speakers in my Saturn.
Need to put some gigantic subs in some of these old school churches, like Southern Baptist churches. You know how they all have like the same sound systems in there where it's up in the peak of the roof of the church.
They're all like pointing down or pointing at an angle.
Yeah, they always have like the two 15-inch speakers with horns that are like butted against each other and shooting down at an angle. And all the more it really has to convey through it is like a lapel mic. And that's it. And like the old Bob Barker style pulpit mic. Yeah. I never understood why he used that. But
the little lollipop.
Yeah. But could you imagine anything that would be considered like a modern sound system in an old church like that? No. Even at my church, like we have a full-blown sound system and a full band, and for like years and years and years, it's just been an ongoing struggle of, on any given Sunday, you'll have somebody say it's too loud, and then somebody will come right up to you a minute later and say it was too quiet, I couldn't hear anything, and then somebody will say, well, I couldn't hear the vocals, and somebody would say, well, I couldn't hear any of the instruments because the vocals were so loud. And everybody hears everything different, and it's like, we're just gonna do it, I guess, because you can't appease everybody.
Yeah, that's basically where you get someone who you know can hear it well, and just like sit right here, we're gonna mix it. Sunday we're fine.
There you go.
When someone comes in, they say, well, I think that's too loud. Then you say, tough crap, Grandma, I'll go back and sit down.
You're too loud. Yeah. Have a seat.
I don't like how loud that is. I don't like you.
That's a bit brash, but like, I don't like all that rock and roll music they have at churches nowadays.
You smell like my Bradley shirt.
Oh, personal insult. But yeah.
Like no reason.
Yeah. I'm just going to insult you personally. Has nothing to do with our discussion.
I just feel like I'd like to just really harm you personally.
Yeah. You criticize my sound, I say you smell of feces. Good day. And give them the old Frenchman's wave.
Yeah.
Send them on their way.
Wah, wah, wah.
But you can't have rock music in a church. You got to have stuff like this.
I want just one moment of time, all the joys of heaven in me.
What the heck is this?
This is special music.
Every moment he saved my soul.
Oh, Lord.
My name is recorded.
Recorded in the book of heaven, washed away by the blood of Calvary. What was blind and yours.
This guy, what happened is
Oh, my.
the sound man at this church was an absolute genius because he soloed out this one guy's mic and was like, you're not going to believe what's happening on this. And he made a recording of just that one guy's mic, which is why you could kind of hear other stuff in the background. It was largely just him. They're like, I'm soloing this out and making a recording of
I
this.
want just one moment of time, all the joys of heaven in me came mine.
What the heck? Lord.
Oh, mercy. There's some good stuff that comes out of old school
gosh.
churches.
It reminds me of when we were growing up. Everyone would always sing a special or whatever.
Yeah, special music.
And it was always, they went to the Christian bookstore and they had that gigantic wall of like basically the Christian karaoke tapes, where it was like the tape and it had like the one song on it and it had no singing. It was just the instruments and everything. And they'd take it in, put it in, and they'd sing along with it.
Oh, yeah. You know what those were called?
I don't remember. I should.
Accompaniment tapes.
Accompaniment tapes. Yes. I forgot what they were called. It's been so long since I've even heard anything like that.
I cleaned out my front closet and found like this big old drawer full of like 1980s accompaniment tapes.
You should get a tape player, put them through, and then sing like that to all of them.
I want just one moment of time for the joys of heaven in me.
You just got to sing through your nose a lot more.
But I'm singing a Sandy Patty song if I'm using accompaniment tapes.
Yeah.
Sandy Patty, the only woman whose vibrato stretched an entire octave. Boo! Seriously, I remember she was just like commonplace. I remember hearing Sandy Patty when I was younger, but at an older age, once I started like choosing the own music that I listened to, I went back and heard Sandy Patty sing the national anthem at something, and I just thought to myself, this lady's vibrato is obscene. It's boo! She's the old garbling goose. Just getting after it.
That's hilarious. I can't get over all the just remember all those bands that we used to listen to back then, such as what was it? Rebecca St. James. She was big.
Yeah. Was it Rebecca St. James or was it Jennifer Knapp? There was one of those.
There's one of those too.
One of those big Christian singers that wound up being gay.
I think that was Knapp.
Uh-oh.
Just like Michael Bolton.
Michael Bolton?
Not Michael Bolton.
What's that guy's name? Not Dave Cause. That's the saxophone guy. Ray
Bolts.
Ray Bolts.
Ray Bolts.
I knew I'd say Ray, and it just shot out of your mouth.
Yeah.
I know, Ray Bolts. I saw him on tour with Al Denson.
Oh my gosh. I remember I think the first like big concert I ever went to that wasn't like a local Chautauqua Day Harvest Festival Scarecrow Days type thing was Agape in Greenville.
Oh, yeah.
When you'd have all like I remember, and my big one I wanted to see, the one I really wanted to see was Petra.
Whoa.
And I got to see them.
That's like Guns N' Roses for the Lord.
Yeah. Well, wasn't that the lead singer of that band? Wasn't he in like before he got saved or whatever? He was in like Scorpions or one of those like metal band or hair metal bands from the 80s.
Yeah, that may be the case.
Because that band was old. Like they were around since the early 80s, but they changed out members quite a bit.
Yeah. Petra was old school. Was that John Schlitt? Was that the
Maybe,
singer?
yeah. That sounds right.
I called him John Schlicht
Schlicht.
because it rolls off the tongue. So smooth.
Schlicht. Sounds like you're saying a swear word in German.
Oi. Schlicht.
Sie haben ein Scheiße.
I've got an old recording of Petra right here.
That's
John Schlitt himself.
You know what that song needs?
What's that?
It needs some light background growls.
Like this? That kind of sounds like a growl.
Yeah, it does.
If you put death metal drums behind that and you're like, all right, the vocals come in right here. Whoa, super gnarly.
Yeah. Do you think when they went in the studio, they were like, I want this to sound like real crap distorted growls? Like,
I've seen some YouTube clip of like somebody that took a dog like growling and barking and made that the vocals to like a death metal track. It fit pretty well.
I'll have to look that one up at some point.
I know it was a joke and it was funny because it was a dog, but I was like, that's actually not too far off.
Did you like the video I sent you with the cat drinking water and they put a condenser mic right up to it? And it's just like,
It made me think of the sound at the end of that Tim and Eric show. The Bub Bubs video. Oh, it does to my ears what saltwater taffy does to my teeth.
so you need saltwater taffy that sounds like,
Oh, ooh, that's a rough one.
that's a feast for the senses.
That's a bad one. Feast for the senses. That's not how I would have described it at all.
I may die.
I think we're going over the levee here.
Oh,
About
my.
to get washed down the river on that topic. Oh my gosh. But you talked about the old Christian bookstores where you get the accompaniment tapes. And I remember that used to be like a big thing for me, going to the Christian bookstore and being able to go to the little sound sampling booth.
Or grab the sample tape and take it to the little Walkman they had like bolted to the end of the cabinet.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to listen to a new one. And you like sit. What's funny is I would go, my parents would go, and they would spend forever looking at whatever they were looking at. And, you know, I'm 10, 12 years old, and I didn't want to sit there and look at devotionals and whatever else they had going on. And so I would just sit there the entire time and like listen. I mean, I probably listened to multiple whole albums while I was sitting there.
Nice. I was too ADD and just listened to like one song of this, one song of that. But I remember just thinking, this one is radical because it has MXPX.
Oh, gosh.
And that was the one up in Brentwood Village, just around the corner from Showbiz Pizza.
Berean bookstore.
The Berean bookstore.
Yep.
That was it. You could get a devotional and an MXPX CD.
That band was ridiculous because if you ever like looked at their albums, like you'd turn it over to see what the track list was, and it'd be like 60 tracks
Oh, yeah.
because all the songs were like 60 seconds long or something.
Yeah. They're like 60 seconds long, and they're all basically bouncing around 3 chords. So
Yeah,
the next track, you're just like, which 3 chords do we want to do this time?
the same ones.
Let's go up a fret.
Yeah,
Zoom.
they're all power chords. They're easy.
Exactly. You can write a ton of songs like that as long as you got the creativity to throw lyrics to it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't exactly say they were creative, though, but...
He's a chick magnet if you know what I mean.
Oh, man.
Oh, gosh.
Gotta say, I've seen them live.
How was that?
It was definitely happening in front of me. No, it wasn't too bad. Oh, I never saw them live. I'm sure when I was a kid, I saw this live a time or two. Yeah. I think Scott Crepane came to my church and did special music.
Doing a special accompaniment today.
Didn't Shelby Christian here in town have Carmen a couple years ago?
Probably. Is he still like make music?
He did a couple years ago.
Really?
I think it was like a whole reunion of We Need God in America tour or something like that.
How old is he now?
I don't know. He would have definitely been a papaw up there doing it. Like Papaw singing Riot.
Yeah.
It's a righteous invasion of truth. We're gonna riot. And he did this little dance where it was like one arm in front of the other.
Yeah.
And then you pull one of those little maneuvers, and he was out in like the factory, and
that's like a perpendicular like safety dance.
he stole it.
Yeah.
Just shifted it in a different direction.
It's on the Z-axis, not the Y.
Carmen is a thief.
That's just slight geometrical changes there. I mean, that's an obvious ripoff.
Yeah, he wrote the Riot song, and they're like, what kind of dance should we do in the video? Safety dance, but take it from here, we're swapping her down here. And they're like, you are a genius, sir.
Brilliant. It reminds me. I saw a picture today or yesterday, and it was like a Disney pitch for a movie. It was just like the guy that's pitching it just says, "You know how kids like dogs?" And then the exec's like, "Yeah." It's like, "How about we make a movie about 101 dogs?" All right, I'm seeing it. The next one's like, "And we're gonna make the movie about skinning those 101 dogs." And he's just like, "Sold." Then you stop thinking, you're like, "Yeah, that movie was actually about a lady trying to skin 101 baby puppies."
Yep. A little more morbid than you realize. But all those Disney movies, yeah, they're kid friendly and all this, but there's always some manner of death worked in there. You're like, oh, this had a funny beginning. It was silly. The kitty made a noise. And they're like, okay, who dies next?
Yeah. It's like children's version of Saw. We're going to play a game.
Oh, yeah. What's going to happen to Bambi's mom?
Oh, yes, there will be blood. Coming this summer to a theater near you.
Oh, those kids' movies.
Bambi 2, Jigsaw's final present.
I'm surprised somebody hasn't made that for real.
Yeah. I still like the Honest trailers. Have you seen those?
I think I have, but it's been long enough I can't remember.
The one for Aladdin is great. It's like, what was it? It's like a street. I forget how to word it. Something like it was a street hustler was doing everything he could to get into her MC Hammer pants and constantly told her to trust him. And just like clipped every single time he said, "Trust me," in there. He's just like, "Trust me. Come on, princess. Trust me. Trust me, princess." And it's just like, that actually is kind of true.
Huh.
I'll have to show you that one later.
I never thought of it that way. But I guess you're right.
The Toy Story one is great, though. That one is just fantastic.
I don't know if I've seen that one or not.
Oh, you'll have to see that one.
Oh, yes. We'll have to fish all these up.
Maybe that'll be the next one. This time we ate crap candy and talked about my butthole shirt. Next time we will get a slew of YouTube videos and just kind of listen to them.
There you go. You know what I did think about on my drive home tonight?
No.
Is that I didn't have time to go get loaves of Italian bread and
I
turn
got
them into
one.
shoes. You got one?
I was at Walmart grocery shopping and they had this one. It was probably that long and like that wide. And I was like, that's big enough for a bread shoe. I grabbed it because it was like 10 cents because, you know, it's at the back where they have the
it had the yellow sticker on it?
Yeah. And I was searching through for a mate and I couldn't find one. So I just thought, I'll just have to find one later. We'll do it later. So I've got one loaf. If we can get...
You can't have one bread shoe.
So if we can get another one by the next show, it should still be soft enough to put on a foot.
Wait, how long was it? Long enough to cut in half and make bread slippers?
Possibly.
There's an idea.
There you go. Oh, yeah, we definitely need to do that.
Oh, yeah. And I got to go eat Chinese food tonight. That was the first time I'd been to this Chinese restaurant in like months.
This is still my favorite Chinese restaurant.
It's not bad. The sushi, it's really close to the worst sushi I've ever had.
Yeah, pretty much.
But the rest of the food's pretty good.
Any place that's going to put sushi out on a buffet like that, not like, I've been to the one, I told you about that one I went to in Grants Pass where it came out in a little boat and a little trough of water, and they just come around and you pick off what you want. But there's literally a guy in the middle of it making sushi and throwing it on the boat as it goes around. So it's not like it's been sitting there all day.
Yeah, that's different. In a buffet situation like this, you go to pick it up and you're like, well, that rice is a little stiff on the outside.
You accidentally drop it and it hits the ground. It doesn't change shape whatsoever. Maybe not that one.
Yeah. No, and it, in a normal sushi recipe, if it would call for a certain amount of cream cheese, they just think, put double in there.
Yeah.
They stick enough in there to where you say, okay, I like cream cheese, but these proportions are off.
I really don't want rice wrapped in cream cheese.
Yeah. It's just a bit much. But have you had the sushi at Fujiyama?
No. Well, what's the one in Mattoon? I've eaten it there.
Mattoon is Osaka, and the hibachi grill place out in the old Cody's is a Fujiyama.
Okay, I've had that sushi there.
I've only had it at the Fujiyama in Effingham. Not impressive.
The one I had in Mattoon, it's not bad. And I've noticed this with sushi. It seems like you've got like the purist way, like what the purist, like a person that says, I want to taste the fish. And it's just rice, fish, seaweed. That's it. And they don't put a lot of extras in there.
Yeah.
And then you have like the Osaka where it's like, we're going to roll it. We're going to roll cream cheese, 3 different types of fish, and some crunchies up. Then we're going to deep fry it. And then we're just going to cover it with spicy mayonnaise. And then that's fantastic.
Yeah, I love that style. I'm not a purist. I'm not a sushi snob. I just want it to taste good, and I don't care what you have to do to it. Mm-hmm. But I've discovered that it really is all about the sauces you put on the top.
Yeah, because raw fish doesn't have much in the way of flavor.
Yeah, it really doesn't. And Fujiyama kind of slacks on the sauces a little bit, so a lot of the flavor itself is missing. Just every roll I've ever had at Fujiyama was bland.
Maybe we should try the one in Mattoon sometime to see if it's different.
I'm down with that.
I mean, I'm always down for some sushi.
Yeah.
Scrump.
I love me some sushi. I've always been impressed with Osaka.
Yeah, it's really good. But it's always funny when I take Evan. He always impresses the folks that work there because they'll ask, I'm assuming most children that come in, it's, what do you want? I want chicken. Whereas they go over and ask Evan, it's, what do you want? I'll have an eel roll. And then there's eel roll? Yep. That's what I want.
Yep. The last time I went to Fujiyama, I got one of those and I got Max to try a piece. And the way I got him to actually, like, it took a little bit of a sales pitch, but the way I convinced him was saying, well, Daniel went to get sushi with his kids and Evan really likes the eel roll. He's like, okay, I'll try it.
Yeah.
And he tried it and he actually liked it.
We should take the boys to sushi.
Oh, yeah. He's just very concerned as to whether it's spicy. It's not spicy, is it, Dad? I don't want it spicy. So if anything remotely close to spicy is around him, he's afraid he's going to, choke on it or get it on his hands and wipe his eyes, and then everything is going to be burning, and he doesn't want to do that. But when we went to Fujiyama last time, we both had to use the bathroom, so we went around the corner and used the bathroom, and that... It was funny. I got to have a little moment with him where we walk in, there's a dude at a urinal. He goes into the stall, I go to the other urinal. Mm-hmm. And when he walks out of the stall, the other guy zips up and just walks straight out the door. Mm-hmm. And I turned to him and I said, that guy didn't wash his hands. And he just looks at me and says, gross. I said, yeah. I don't know why people would want to not wash their hands. It's like he's seriously going to go back and sit at his table with wiener debris all over his hands and then
Maybe
just
he
handle
likes the
his
flavor.
food with it. And Max proceeded to just say, wiener debris. And he just thought that was the funniest term.
That's hilarious.
We go back and sit down at the table, and you could just see the gears turning in his head. He was trying to figure out how he could shape this story to where he could tell Mom and get away with saying wiener debris. I forget how he executed it, but he started and he got like 2 words out, and I just went, save it for not at the table.
Yeah. Tell her when we get home.
Yeah, we got back out in the car. And he took the first opportunity he had to tell her. It was pretty funny, though.
That's hilarious. Oh, yeah, we had wasn't last weekend, it was the weekend before when I took Evan to St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
We got to have a few real world moments, I guess you could say.
What all did you do down there?
So we went to, we stayed at a hotel, Marriott Courtyard, which if you're ever going to go to St. Louis, I recommend staying there because it's right in the middle. And it's like the cheapest out of all the hotels around there. So you're talking 130, 150 a night, something like that, which downtown St. Louis is not bad.
Yeah.
Because all the other hotels are like $250 a night. So we stayed there. We walked down to the City Museum. And, you know, that's basically a giant concrete McDonald's play place.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we went, the next day we went to the Arch. And we went to the Science Center.
Nice.
And I rented one of those. Have you seen like the bird scooters and the, what's the other one? The Lime scooters.
I think I've seen the Lime thing. The bird, unfamiliar.
The Lime ones are the green and white ones, and the bird are the black and white ones, but they're those electric, and they look like a Razor scooter or something with meteor wheels, and they're just electric, and you scan the thing and it unlocks the scooter and then you drive it around. And Evan was just mesmerized by them the entire time because people are using them everywhere. And he's like, I want to ride one. I'm like, you can't ride one, buddy. You have to be at least 16. And he's like, oh. I was like, I can get one. I was like, you want me to get one so I can just scoot around? We can just kind of play with it. And he's like, yeah. So I get one. We're like scooting around this little area. He thought it was fantastic, but.
Oh yeah, the small things that entertains kids.
But we had one funny, not funny, but one kind of strange. You're going to eat one?
Circus peanut. Banana.
It's like a banana Laffy Taffy with a sad texture.
I don't know what that texture is, but
Bad?
yeah. If I could summarize it in one word, it would be bad. Well, anyway, you were saying.
Anyway, we were on the train, so we took the metro around, which is a fantastic way to travel there in town because we took the Amtrak down. We took an Uber from the Amtrak to the hotel, but we could have easily taken the metro. But in hindsight, I'm glad after dark we took an Uber.
Yeah.
And then we drove that around and on the way out of town. So we were going back to the Amtrak station on the metro, and there was a lady on there, and she was nuts. Like, she was definitely nuts, probably high. And she was sitting there, like, trying to talk to everyone, and no one would listen to her. And then, like, she started talking to us. And so, like, Evan, I'm sitting on the aisle seat. Evan's at the window seat because it's just the 2 seats. And I made sure to do that on purpose. I didn't want anyone, like, grabbing him and running or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there, and this lady's talking to us, and she's just like, oh, you're here with your son? And I'm like, yep. I'm just kind of, like, trying to avoid her, but I didn't want to, like, make her nuts. Because I don't know what kind of crazy she is. She's definitely crazy. I just don't know what kind.
Yeah.
And so she's like, I have twin boys. And she's like, oh, they're doing so great, even though their mother's not. I'm like, okay. She's like, it's just hard, you know. And she just keeps going on about how rough her life is and how terrible everything is. And I'm just like, oh, okay. And then we get off the train, and, like, she's kind of, like, walking funny and moving around. And as soon as we get out of earshot of her, I looked down at Evan. I was like, all right, Evan, that lady was high on drugs. I was like, that's the first one you've ever seen of that. Don't do drugs, or you'll be that lady. He's like, why would she do drugs? I'm like, that's a real good question.
Yeah. There's only one thing you need to know, kid.
Our nation's lost
lost her values. Our leaders walked away. So it's up to you and me to rise and stand.
For whose sake?
For the children's sake.
That's hilarious. But seriously, I think that's the best possible way that you can get a kid not to do drugs. Take them to the city, walk around till you see the most gross looking, strung out person. Walk past, because they'll like say something to you because they're wanting money.
Oh, yeah.
And they follow you around for like a half block. And when you get done, tell your kids, be like, that person is high on drugs. And that's what happens to you when you do lots and lots and lots of drugs. Don't do them.
Yeah. I guess you're also kind of taking a gamble that it's not going to be someone completely insane and going to hurt somebody or like he's going to flash your kid or something. Yeah. Hey, kid, you see this?
Yeah.
No thanks.
But, I mean, it's a good lesson.
Yeah. I'm betting it was a lasting impression on him.
I'm sure it was. And if you think about it, like a lot of kids that end up doing drugs and whatnot, they watch movies like Blow, or they watch all these movies where these guys are doing drugs, Scarface or something like that. And it's like, these guys are cool and they're doing lots of drugs. It's like, yeah, but you typically don't come out looking cool.
Yeah.
You come out with a neck tattoo and missing some teeth.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the end of that road.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, just say no.
Yeah. It's funny. But yeah, no, it was a great trip.
Yeah, it looked like a lot of fun. I love little out of town runs like that.
And I mean, that was it was not cheap, but it was not bad. I mean, you could definitely do that once a quarter with the kids, and it's not going to break the bank.
Less than a Tenacious D concert ticket?
About the same. Oh, gosh. Those tickets were outlandish.
Yeah. Agreed.
But we should definitely do that. Take the kids, go down there. I mean, it's like $25 a person, $23 a person, something like that, to go down there and back on the Amtrak.
Yeah, that ain't bad.
I mean,
I think it's been probably 3 or 4 years since the kids have been to the city museum down there.
Yeah, it was fun. Evan ended up like throwing a huge fit when we were done because he didn't want to leave, but he was so tired that he needed to leave. And when those two things never work out well together, that you get to the end and it's like, all right, buddy, you're about to fall asleep. You need to go. And he's just like, it's like, come on, let's go. And it's just like instant whine cry for the rest of the way back to the hotel. And it's like, okay, we're going to cram food in your mouth until you're not like this anymore.
Yeah, with kids that age, I mean, they just get emotional when something really fun that they really enjoy ends. Because last summer, we took the kids to Holiday World, and they had an absolute blast. They loved it. And then we drove back. We got back fairly late Saturday night and woke up Sunday morning. And Max, I mean, he was 6 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes strolling out of his bedroom early in the morning, all wrapped up in a blanket. And the blanket opens a little bit, and I realize he's holding the map to the amusement park. He sits down on the couch and just tears up and starts kind of sniffling a little bit. I was like, what's wrong, bud? And he goes, I'm sad it's over.
That's when you look at him and be like, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I wish I could live on vacation.
Well, let me tell you this. Let me level with you, kid. If you lived at that amusement park, it wouldn't be fun anymore.
Yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. Let me just crap on your good time.
No matter where you go in life, once you get there, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah. You know how much you liked it? All the people that work there, they hate it the same amount.
You know how you're crying when you have to leave? They cry the same amount when they have to go.
Yes. What terrible parenting that would be.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, it'd be terrible.
That's fantastic.
I agree. Where are we at here?
100.
Hey, we're up pretty good on the time frame.
Yeah, we're doing good.
You ready to call her quits?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything else to go into. Of course, I mean, really, I didn't have anything else to go into.
We
30
never
minutes
do.
ago, but-
We're us. What do you do? We just sit down and say, well, I don't know what's going to happen this time, but here we go.
You know, it's funny. I've watched a bunch of podcasts now. I've been doing that, just studying up, trying to figure out how other people do things. And it's funny because a lot of the shows will have a small little intro, and at the end there's like a small little outro where it's like, tune into our podcast at these locations. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Our hashtag at blah blah blah, and you know, it's this real, I don't know, real polished way to end the show, and ours is just kind of like, well, I'm out. Me too. All right. Done.
Yeah.
Hang up.
Our last one went like, oh, yeah, I almost forgot. Bye. Like, we're way smoother.
Yeah. Like we're the exact opposite of smooth. Like 100%.
Yes.
And I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with it, too.
We're rough and unrefined.
Exactly. It's not like we have to take a quick break here in the middle so we can do an advertisement for something like Circus Peanuts. Let's get sponsored by Circus Peanuts.
I'm down with that. Let's do it.
Do you like the taste of banana that doesn't quite taste right, and the weird texture of clay silly putty, and just the overall sense and feeling of disappointment in your mouth? Try Circus Peanuts, still available at Casey's.
Have you ever thought to yourself, I would love to eat a stale Laffy Taffy, but I wish it had the consistency of silly putty? Well, now you can with Circus Peanut brand Circus Peanuts, sold exclusively at your local Casey's.
They still sell those things?
Our nation's lost her values.
Okay, here's one for you, Go. What else you got on there?
Okay. Well, I got this guy when referring to the butthole.
There's the anus, where the poisons of the body are excreted.
Where the poisons of the body are excreted. I just enjoy the word excreted.
Exactly. That guy.
There's the anus,
Anus.
Anus, not the
where the
anus.
poisons of the body are excreted.
It's like the flavor of black licorice. It's anise. Oh.
Fantastic.
Like, you can use the word excrete for anything, and it's going to infinitely be funnier. Such as, that bag just excreted a bunch of circus peanuts.
Excreted.
Yummy. So, here's one for you. Probably out of our entire listening group, all 6 of them,
Oh, it's going to grow.
I was going to say, most of them have probably heard this joke from me, but just in case, if you ever want to make something creepy, follow it with the yummy noise.
Such as?
Like, if I said, Brad, I like your shirt. That's a nice shirt. Not creepy.
Not necessarily, no.
But if I said, Brad, that's a nice shirt. I like your shirt. Instantly like skin crawly. We did an experiment at work at one point because we said, someone said, well, it's not going to make everything creepier. Like if you said something creepy, it's not going to be creepier because you said that. And I was like, oh, you don't know.
You just wait, son.
Let's put this one to the test. So let's say something real creepy like, you look at someone and say, you have nice skin. That's creepy. Like you don't tell another human being that unless you're like a cosmetic salesman or something. Oh, you have nice skin. I have this product for it. That would be a little less creepy. But just walking up to a total stranger and being like, you have nice skin. Creepy as all get out.
Yeah, they think you want to make some sort of lampshade out of them.
Gonna go all Buffalo Bill on them.
Yeah, I would love to get an opportunity to wear it.
Yeah.
Ah!
Our nation lost her values.
But no, here you go. Follow with this. You have nice skin.
Oh,
Infinitely worse. Like it just went to a whole nother level.
that's a steep, like, if you said that to another female worker
Oh, yeah.
in your office,
If I said it to a female, I would not be employed anymore.
I know, that's like a surefire way to lose your job.
I had to say that to dude that I talk to regularly, so that way it's something that's not going to get me fired.
There you go. Understand where I'm coming from with this before I tell you. And also, you know me. You know my intentions.
Disclaimer, this is an experiment and in no way, shape, or form sexual harassment.
Exactly. Just approach ladies with that in the future. Yeah. What I'm about to say is in no way, shape, or form sexual harassment in any way, but I like your skin.
I mean, test it. When you're driving to work, you're driving to the gym or whatever, just think of the creepiest thing you can possibly think of. Say it to yourself out loud, and you'll say, that's creepy. Follow it with the yummy noise. You'll make your own skin crawl.
What's the creepiest thing I can think of?
And I encourage everyone listening to this to do this as well.
Ooh, can I have one of your Taco Bell chicken fries? No, that didn't work.
Nope, it did not work.
This works. Can I have one of your chicken fries?
Oh, man. Yeah, I love it, but we should probably end this.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh,
Thanks for tuning in again, everybody.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. I think we're getting better.
Hey, work in progress. We're going to get more and more comfortable.
That's right.
Hey, we have fun doing it, so we're going to keep doing it.
And maybe the next one we'll do in the studio, the one I'm building.
Oh, that would be awesome. I'm looking forward to it, especially if you get it done by this weekend.
And then
that's going to be cool.
And then anyone that's listening, I'd like to thank Mr. Caleb West, because he's going to work on some art for our stuff.
Oh, yes. Thanks, Caleb. Heck of a guy helping us out.
And I told him whenever he gets it all done, he'll have to come in and sit with us.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then he can explain the art.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'm cool with that. I think at some point we'll try and figure out logistics of getting a third microphone up and going and having some actual
people
guests come in and join us.
Oh, yeah, I was going to say, I feel like that would be even better.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Like my buddy Nate that was here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's a guy you want as a guest at some point because you get him riled up and get him going. He is a hoot. That guy's a real hoot.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, I'm okay with people coming on. I mean, right now, I'll probably wait a little bit. We don't have the mics really, but
yeah, we'll get it figured out.
Yeah, we'll get there. But all right, well, thanks for listening.
Oh, yeah, almost forgot.
When you're hot,
Bye.
you're hot.
Bye.
You're not. When you're on the pot, give it all you got. On your hot, you're hot. On your hot, you're not. On your hot, give it all you got. It stings when I pee. It burns on the poop when I push real hard. Things don't go